Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the All Around. Cardell, joined by Cardell Dudley Jr. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Look, man, Portsmouth started off this week. We told you guys on this week's installment of the Focus TV that Cardell was going to be out there. Gets out there every year. It was day one, so let's get through the. We had two games tonight. Get through both games. Cardell in the first game, we had Norfolk Sports Club beating Janai King 78-67. Who stood out to you in that game before we get to the nightcap?
It was actually a strong start to Portsmouth. Normally you can expect it. The first game, I'd say about the first 6, 7 minutes, it was a lot of nervous energy. That's what I call it. Everybody say they want it, but it's different when it's there. You know what I'm saying? That you look across the gym and literally multiple representatives from literally every NBA team is there, including and overseas people too. It's not just the NBA, even G League personnel. So everything you ever wanted as a player to get an opportunity to play professional basketball at the highest level, those people, those decision makers are there. But like you said, man, it's always standouts. I'm gonna start with Jarrod Roden out of Seton Hall, 6'6", 210-pound guard. He had an outstanding game. Had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists, 8 of 14 shooting, 3 of 5 from deep. I didn't know he could score like that from all three levels. You know what I mean? Efficiently. You know what I mean? And with his size, he rebounded outstandingly well for his size to be 6'6". Like 8 rebounds. Especially this the type of environment where everybody's going hard, like extremely as hard as you can. So we all know how tough it is for guards to sneaking in with the bigs, banging with one another to get those type of rebounds. But he was doing it, and it showed his athleticism, his length, and his strength. He's put in work. He's put in work since the whole season ended, man. So he shined big time, man. He's the prototypical two guard that a lot of people, would look for in the league, and definitely in the G League for sure. Like if he didn't play another game, I'm pretty sure he would get a call in the G League. But if he stayed consistent, he'd get the big invite to the combine. Next up was Jordan Usher out of Georgia Tech. I love this enthusiasm. I love his passion for the game. He actually got excited uh, whenever he made a assist or got a defensive stop, and that was contagious, man. And he fired himself up and he fired his team up, man. And I knew he could score the ball. I knew he could defend. Obviously, I know Maryland's not in the ACC anymore, but Virginia is, so it's still technically in Maryland, ACC country, so to speak. So you still got to pay attention to those guys. But I didn't know he could pass like that. I mean, one clip I'm gonna post up later on, man. He drove left, spent baseline back to the paint, went up. They went up. The bigs went up to block his shot. He did a no look to I forget which guard in the corner, and it was on the dime, man. And I was like, whoa, like he can pass the ball, man. And you know what I'm saying? He finished with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists on, but 4 or 9 shooting, and that's what I mean by his passing ability. You know what I mean? That's the that's a triple double threat for this type of setting. Because obviously the NBA is not looking for nobody to just jack all day. Like if you come out here doing that, you're not gonna get where you want to go. They want to see you display your all around game. Because more than likely with these guys that are playing, let's say you do get drafted, you're gonna play a role. You're not gonna come in there and be the star. It's just not reality. So they want to see how you will fit well with the stars that they already have. That's the key. And he shined. He shined, man. And it seemed to be a theme with these so far, and the top players that I've seen at least through the first night is versatile wings that can defend multiple positions and do things. You gotta be versatile. You can't just be a traditional two score and defend your position. You gotta be able to get on point guard. You gotta be able to go down there at times and bang. With the pick and roll stuff that we see in the league all year long, it's
Yes.
gonna be mismatches. You gotta be able to hold your own. So it's essential to get in the weight room and be strong and be ready to take that beating. Quentin Jackson out of Texas A&M, 3 level score, solid defender, freaky athlete. I didn't know he was that athletic. When I mean athletic, damn near looking eye level with the rim. Uh, he's a problem, and I know this is just the first time I'm trying to hold it in, man, but I don't see him slowing down. I don't see
Right.
him slowing down, man. Like he got the tools, man, and in this first game, he reminded me a lot of Malik Monk. He's just older, with
Mm.
this combination of athleticism, where he can score the ball, get hot, and you know have the ability to also defend, man. He's a talent, and I was, I obviously watched him, throughout the year, man. But he showed me more today. The thing is just being consistent throughout the week, and that's something we gonna see, and that's part of it. They want to see how you play when you fatigued, you tired, you drained, and that's something they got to keep up. But he had a hell of a start, man, tonight, man. Just just doing a little bit of everything. Yeah, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. That's what I mean. Like he filled up the stat sheet. Now you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 or 4 from deep, 2 or 3 from the free throw line, 5-11 from the field, man. But I mean, that's just under 50%. So he had an outstanding, start. We're gonna keep moving. Kobe Mcgillin. I hope I pronounced his name right. Weber State. When I say this dude has all NBA defensive team, first team potential, that's what I mean, man. His super athletic, slash, gets a lane dunk, high motor. But he has some of the best hands I've ever seen. Like, I'm gonna post clips, you will see it. When I say he has some of the best hands, if the ball is anywhere near him and he has a chance to make a play, it's a strip or it's a steal. It's no question. Like even when you think you got him, you don't got him. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be on point and extra careful with him. That's what a lot of teams in the league need. And I'm like, that alone, I think he's gonna get it. If he keeps this up with what he showed, the consistency, I can see him getting the invite to Chicago just off his defense, man. I mean, the other stuff is a plus. Like, look, he didn't shoot the ball well. He had 4 points, 1 of 5, but he had 4 rebounds, and you know what I'm saying, and 3 assists, and he had a block. You know what I mean? But he had countless strips that knocking the ball loose that led to his teammates picking it up and they going the other way, and having opportunities to score or whatnot. His only problem, he's out of control sometimes offensively. He's trying to do too much, which you could chalk it up to the first game, which is why I'm eager to see how he plays. But the boy won it. He hungry. You can see it out there, man. So if he keep being consistent on the defensive end and slow down just a tad on the offensive end and to let his offensive game flow, he'll get some calls. You know what I'm saying? He got the tools. It's just up to him just to prove that he's poised. Courtney Raymond, another from out of Texas, high IQ scorer. And what I mean is he's not as athletic, as Quentin Jackson or whatnot, but he understands how to get to his spots and make shots. And he's especially daily on the move, man. It's kind of like what we saw with Corey Kispert this year with the Wizards.
Yeah.
You thought he was just a shooter. But, right now he figured out, even with his new teammates and whatnot, he figured out how to move without the ball, get open, and he made the other team play. And like I said, you gotta show that you can play off the stars on the team if you get that call, man. And he's showing that. So I know I already know he's gonna get his fair share of looks if he stays consistent. Another kid, Loma, out of Virginia Tech. He's not the most athletic. He's not the biggest, not the strongest forward, power forward. That's probably what he's projected to be at the next level. But he has a very high IQ. He's versatile. He's just a player that understands how to play basketball, man, in a multitude of ways. He helps you win games in a way that may or may not show up in a box score like tonight. Bear with me. It's windy as hell outside, people. But bear with me. He had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists and a block. On 6 of 10 shooting, 2 of 5 shooting from deep, and 1 of 3 from the free throw line in 24 minutes. Like, he fills up the stat sheet, and he outplayed bigger, more athletic guys just by outsmarting them and having the skill set to get the job done, to get the result. To me, those are the type of players that help you win games in the league, man, especially like playoff games. He's not going to be he probably won't be a star, you know what I'm saying, something like that, but he could be a key role player that when you look up like, man, dang, man, he helped that team win the championship. He was pivotal. I could see him being that down the road, man. He thoroughly impressed, man. Like I said, it's all about consistency moving forward. And Jamal Kane, never heard of him. Didn't see him play. Out of Oakland, 6'7" wing. He's another one that can get his shot as a defensive stopper at the next level. Super athletic. He's bigger than Mcgillin out of Weber State. He has a long wingspan and quick hands. It's hard to cross over on him at all. Like he was hitting the ball he wasn't even trying to reach. He was just running his down, having his hand down there to contest
and tipping the ball, just being in a good stance.
And was hitting the ball every time. And it made dudes fumble the ball, have to pick the ball up. restart the offense, that messes up the flow of your offense, man. Those little details. And then on top of that, he showed the ability he can step out, hit threes from NBA range. And if he get a step on you, he's trying to put you in the basket. You know, he's he's talented, man. And the thing is, can he be efficient? If he's efficient from shooting from deep, I know he'll get a call from being a 3 and D guy. That's what he projects, man. He's a little thing. You're going to have to bulk up, but he definitely has the tools, man. And moving on to game two, I don't know if you wanted to announce that score.
Oh, for sure. We got Roger Brown's Restaurant. They rallied to beat K&D Rounds Landscaping. KD Rounds Landscaping had a solid lead to about 10 minutes left in that game. And you watch Roger Brown's Restaurant just walk them down and take the lead.
Hey, man, look, I'm not shocked by that because Roger Brown pretty much had the lead for most of the game, man. But the standouts from this is I'm gonna start with Fast Russell out of Maryland, former Rhode Island point guard, but finished up last year in Maryland. He put on a show, man. I was eager to see him play. Uh, ran the show beautifully as a point guard, as a floor general. 16 points, 7 assists, 5 or 7 shooting from the field, 3 or 4 from deep. It was child's play. Like nobody could guard him. Uh, you know, he made shots efficiently. He contested shots, wide open shots. He's a blur in the open court. They tried to. He got 6 fouls. He fouled out because the only way they could stop him was putting him in the block with bigger guards, and they went to work on him. That's what they did, man. Like we gotta get him off the floor.
Yeah.
That's why KD rounds made it a close game because they was smacking him in the first half. Roger Brown, man, was fast leading the way, man, but they put him in the post and he fouled out. So, and that's how they even managed to come back. But man, I think if he didn't impress NBA scouts despite his size, which I know they looking at, blah blah blah, the boy can play. He can help you out, man. And he's tough, Philly kid. The thing he has to keep showing once again, can he knock down open shots when he have them? Because he's not going to be the go-to point guard, but they're going to need him to come in and set the table, do exactly what he did today, set the table, hit open shots, and bother the other point guard defensively. And, that's something that he's going to have to, he's just going to have to continue to prove, man. I believe he will. I believe he's tough enough to do so, man. But, he's talented. He's talented, man. Straight up Grant Golden out of Richmond. I call him a point center. He's one of the best passing big men in all of college basketball. Master the pick and roll, man. That's his niche. You know what I mean? For what he lacks in athleticism and, just overall size for his position, being a center in college and probably going to be play stretches where he's a center if he gets a call the G League or the NBA center, power forward. Yes, guys that are just as big but way more athletic or whatnot, he's gonna have to outsmart them and use the skill. And that's what he pretty much did today, man. He had 14 points and 6 rebounds and 5 assists on 6 of 8 shooting. And that's what I mean, man. Just him and Fast Russell in the pick and roll was so deadly, dog. I felt sorry for the opposing team, man. It was surgical. It was surgical. Like he knew when to pop out. He knew when to roll to the basket. He knew when they ain't had nothing, so he would set another screen and then set another screen to make the defender just to give them hell where they got to keep fighting over. And they were patient. That's the beauty of watching seniors play. They've been through the wars. They understand how to play. They understand, dog. We gonna get the mismatch, dog. All right, we ain't got it this time. We gonna keep going. We ain't got it. We gonna get it this time. And then they eventually got it. That's how they won the game, man. So, I'm not surprised by his production, man. It's hard to pinpoint a guy from the NBA I can really relate to. Probably like an older version of Lonnie Divac, but he slowed down. But the way he was just passing out of the high post or whatnot, just having great hands with Fast Russell was just leaving it and dishing it off. And he was scoring that wheel wide open, wide open. It was just beautiful to watch, man. And that duel, yeah, if they end up in the championship, win the championship, I would not be shocked because it's hard to stop that duel. They already got chemistry. This game one, so you just gotta tip your hat to them, man. They got it done, man. Moving on to another one, Tommy. I hope I don't butcher his last name. Please. point guard out of St. Mary's, another mastermind. I know I watching him throughout the college season. He gave Gonzaga fits. Tonight he gave KD rounds 14 points, 4 assists, 5 of 10 shooting, 2 of 5 from deep. He's a pass first point guard. Hold on, man. Give me 1 second.
Okay. So yeah, again, we're gonna be here each and every day this week. While Cardell's down at Portsmouth, he's gonna be checking in and talking about each and every game, getting his list of players to you guys. So go ahead, Cardell.
I'm sorry about that wife word and stuff. Y'all know how to go. But hey, real life stuff, fellas. Folks who watching this, but cool. So he was surgical. He's a pass first point guard. He really is not trying to score too much, but if you just happen to leave him open, or he gets to a spot where he's comfortable, he will make you pay as with the efficiency, 5, 10 from the field, 2, 5 from D, 2, 2 from the free throw line. Like I said, a guy that knows how to play. Oh, and man, just piggybacking off that, the best thing about all these players, they don't turn the ball over. Coos had 2 turnovers. Pat Russell has 3, and Grant Golden had 1. These are great passers who don't turn the ball over. You can't you can't ask for much more, man. And I saw him against Gonzaga because obviously that was a big game on ESPN or whatnot. But tonight he blended well with Fats, even playing off Fats and letting him run point when Fats got in trouble when they was trying to trap him in the backcourt, get the ball out of his hands. I know Daryl Morzell did a good job of doing that. You know what he did? He gave the ball up, and Cruz, he just was surgical with it. He ran the offense. So that backcourt with those guys taking turns running the show, it's going to be hard for teams to deal with them. It is, because they could beat you and not even score a point. They could beat you doing it both ways, scoring and assisting, or they can get to go to work offensively and score points, man. And that's just what I saw tonight, man. And I was thoroughly impressed by him, because I didn't. Sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get in this setting,
right?
With a bunch of hungry wolves that's vying for position and whatnot. And when I saw him with St. Mary's, he was more of a facilitator, setting the table for guys. And he showed he can score the ball and do what he needed to do. So, I was thoroughly impressed with him. Just bear with me, man.
It's all good.
You know what I'm saying? So, keeping it moving. Obviously, I got to talk about Horn, man. He went to work, man. Jarrod Horn, a Tulsa 6'7", wing, 205, super athletic. He came to play, and he let it fly. He was not bashful about it. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 8 of 15 shooting, 4 of 10 from deep, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Play of the game for a reason, man. He did a lot of damage, and most of his damage he did in the second half. 19 points, 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep, and he had 8 of his 11 rebounds in the second half. And they needed every one of those so they could pull the win out. That tells you that he was mentally tough. He didn't have it going in the first half, and he found a way to get it going in the second half, man. And it was just special to see, man.
And that's a hell of a way to finish a game.
Yes, sir, man. You couldn't ask for much more, man. So, look, they gotta they want to do something, man, because it's Roger Brown team, and keep in mind, Fast Russell, Horn, Golden, Coos, they all on the same team. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at this roster, and while you sitting here talking, they're low key loaded. Like, that's a nice, nah, for real. Like, that's a nice group, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
That's a nice group. You got a couple guys that had, what's it called? You mentioned Horn. Martin also had 10 boards. Horn's not a big, right? So that's 2 wings with 10 plus rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absurd.
You got to do that because, when teams go, I know the big man, big centers are coming.
Yeah.
You see with, MBs and Joker and all those guys are killing the league and stuff. Look, Giannis, obviously, he's not a center, but he's a big, playing the 4, Finals MVP champion or whatnot. They're coming back slowly but surely, but they're teams that still have small ball lineups, and your wings will have to play the 4, so they're going to have to be able to rebound. You know what I mean? You can't just be out there floating on the wings. So the more skills you show, the more of a skill set that you show to impact the game, the better, man. So yeah, why not go in there and get the rebound? Plus, if you can handle the ball, make something happen, the ball's already in your hands. You don't have to rely on nobody to get it to you. So and that's part of defense. You know, when you strapping up, you rotate, you flying around, you finally get the miss. You got to gather the board for things to go smooth, man. So hey, man, I'm not mad at him. Keep doing what you got to do to win, man. That's the whole name of the game, man. So next up, got to highlight this other point guard from KD Rounds, Charlie Moore out of Miami, 5'11", 180, and he looks like a high school kid, but he's a senior in senior in college. Listen, when Fast was going off in the first half, you could see Moore starting to warm up as the first half was winding down. He was starting to get more aggressive, and he kept that aggression up. He had to match him because Fast was going off. Moore had 17 points, 5 assists on 8 of 10 shooting from the field. So he was definitely trying to get back at past Russell for the production he had, but it wasn't enough, obviously, with them taking an L on the first day. He understands how to run a point guard too, man. He's nice. He's not the biggest player, obviously, at 5'11". He's not the freakish athlete, but he does know how to keep you off balance, which is change his speed off the bounce. And he uses that to be able to create for others or score the ball. And he scores the ball very well. And that's the deal, man. I don't know if he'll get a call for the NBA, but he has G League player written all over him. He might need a year or two to a season. And this is just off the first lane. If he keep killing like he's doing, lead his team to the championship, he's gonna get a look. It's just how it goes, man. I'm not knocking him, but I know a lot of scouts gonna nitpick these players and they're gonna look at his size and stuff, and that he's not a freak athlete. Kind of like what we see with the Wizards with Cassius Winston. You feel what I mean? And Cassius Winston had a much more decorated career than Charlie Moore. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to crack the L, especially at point guard, but this was a hell of a performance, a hell of a start. You know what I'm saying? So it's just up to him to stay consistent and he'll get a shine. Last but not least, Garrison Brooks, former Tar Heel. Now Mississippi State big man, 6'9", 230, finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, 6 of 12 shooting from the field, and 2 of 2 from deep, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Big athletic kid, big bogey, muscular, tough. Loves to mix it up inside, but he showed he can step out and hit threes. And that's the thing with him, man. And he showed he had great hands in the paint, and he looked at dunk everything. He didn't try to he ain't fumble the ball. He ain't try to finesse it, shoot layups here and there, left, right hand. Nah, man, he goes up strong, man. And he can take a lot of contact, rebound the ball. He can run the floor well. Obviously, with his big body, you playing defense, you hit that screen, you're stuck. It's like you hit a wall. And then you're at his mercy, and then it's just about if he's going to pop out or if he's going to roll to the basket. So, his point guard to find him so he can do a lot of damage, man. But he's strong, man. You know what I'm saying? He's the prototypical type of big that I know the NBA loves. Similar to a young Al Horford, man, not the older one. Same type of ability and skill set and body type, man. So yeah, those were the standouts for day one. Obviously, every day I'm gonna come back with some more, man. But it was a nice start, man. So and get the other 4 teams tomorrow on top of the the two losers from the day play the first game tomorrow, 3:15. The 2 losing teams, and then the 4 teams that didn't play, they play tomorrow. So, and those 4 teams will be, I think, Sales Systems. They'll play Portsmouth Sports Club, and Mike Newman will play Portsmouth Partnership.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear what happens at day 2. I'm ready for these check-ins because, again, like you said, it's only one night, but as they progress through the rest of this week, folks got a chance to help themselves out quite a bit. And one of the first things I took from what you were talking about was the players that supply and demand right now for good teams in the league, for folks that can fit a role, starting with defending. And starting with defending, with defending.
Yes.
And that was kind of a theme tonight. It seemed like you were talking about guys that started on that end of the floor, and yeah, they contributed on the other end. But again, The quickest way to get minutes in a league where people are struggling, people are looking for folks to want to defend and are capable defenders.
Exactly. And I don't think people understand how bad it is. We do because we see it year round, but covering the league. But the defense is horrible, and you got people thinking, the guys are just so much more skilled. Nah, people just don't have the heart or the IQ on that end to get the job done consistently. It's a handful of guys that do defend. You see the Draymonds, Marcus Smarts, and all that. And then they look at them like, and they are special defenders. Drew Holiday and all that. I mean, damn, Drew Holiday guard 1-5.
Yeah.
But you got 95% of the league, they can't even guard their position. So at all, nobody. The backup, the third string, G League call up, and everybody cooking them. So it's just bad. It's costing people jobs. You know what I'm saying? So teams are looking, especially contenders, with so many teams rising and young boys growing up and stuff like that. Teams on the verge, and teams trying to hold on. Teams looking for guys to come in, get stops against these league guys. So especially in the East. For you to get out the East, you got to deal with the KDs, the Kyries, the Jason Taylors, the Jalen Browns, the Jimmy Butler. You got to deal with some, even Harden. You know what I'm saying? You going to deal with some nasty Trae Young, my bad. Trae Young and all those guys. You going to deal with some lethal wings. You know what I mean? Like, well, what if you in the West, you play Golden State? Man, you got to deal with Steph, Clay, Poole, Wiggins. You got, bro. It's just, you better be able to play defense. It's gonna be a long night, so they looking for guys like that, man. And from the first night, there's plenty of guys that are willing and have the ability to do so.
Man, like I said, definitely looking forward to it. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow for second night of the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament.